apparently Justin Baldoni was not the first person within the industry that Blake Lively has ever accused of harassment. Apparently there was another individual years ago, about the time when Harvey Weinstein was being accused of what he did and the whole Me Too movement was being brought up. Blake Lively was asked about him and the accusations, and her answer was a little bit odd, kind of, but in that answer, she begins to tell a story about how she was harassed by an individual while working on the set of another, I don't know if it was a movie or a show, she didn't really say, but let's get into what she said in the story surrounding that. It says, last week, Lively opened up about her own experiences with sexual harassment, revealing a terrifying incident allegedly at the hands of a makeup artist. He was saying things inappropriately, insisting on putting my lipstick on with his finger. I was sleeping one night on location and I woke up and he was filming me. She continued, I was clothed, but it was a very voyeuristic, terrifying thing to do. Lively said that she told the producers about the issue, but that nothing happened after she spoke out. Instead, the mother of two claims that she was approached about a different incident, this time about her dog defecating behind a toilet in her dressing room. The actress said producers told her this is very serious and we can't have this happen again. That's hilarious. It said Lively took the complaint to a lawyer, which led to an investigation that caused the makeup artist to be removed from the project, she told the LA Times. Despite his removal, Lively said it doesn't prevent him from working in the industry. Our unit production manager wrote him a letter of recommendation because nobody wanted there to be any bad blood. And then it basically goes on to say that the actress had previously spoken out against Harvey Weinstein to the Hollywood Reporter, saying it is important that women are furious right now. It's important that there is an uprising. It's important that we don't stand for this and that we don't focus on 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 stories. It's important that we focus on humanity in general and say that's unacceptable. She said, that was never my experience with Harvey in any way whatsoever, and I think that if people heard these stories, I do believe in humanity enough to think that this wouldn't have just continued. I never heard any stories like this. I never heard anything specific, but it's devastating to hear. So I'm not sure if her take is that just because there was so many people that if they had heard it, they would have done something about it. Honestly, I feel like Blake she's too privileged to understand anything, and that's why she was really actually a horrible pick for this role. So if you go back and look at the complaint that Blake Lively filed against Justin Baldoni, you can see where she says that during a scene, it was a slow dance for a montage in which no sound was being recorded, Mr. Baldoni chose to let the camera roll and have them perform the scene, but did not act in character as Ryle. Instead, he spoke to Miss Lively out of character as himself. At one point, he leaned forward and slowly dragged his lips from her ear and down to her neck, saying, "It smells so good." None of this was remotely in character or based on any dialogue in the script, and nothing needed to be said because, there was no sound. Mr. Baldoni was caressing Miss Lively with his mouth in a way that had nothing to do with their roles. When Miss Lively later objected to this behavior, Mr. Baldoni's response was, "I'm not even attracted to you." How would you even know that? Was he like, "Oh, Justin, it is me, Justin, you smell so nice"? How would you just automatically know that he was out of character for that moment unless he's like, "Oh yeah, Blake, you're awesome." That's not what you describe, because he didn't call you by name, he didn't say his name. So why would you just automatically assume he's acting as him and not his character when you're in a moment where it's a slow dance, probably intended to be romantic or in some sort of elevated emotional type of setting? That doesn't make any sense to me. And it's almost like this complaint it feels kind of similar to the one about the makeup artist, just things that could be relatively normal in a way, but being twisted to make it sound worse and make it look like it's something completely different. And I feel like if the producers were willing to write a letter on behalf of the makeup artist, it's a makeup artist. It's not like it's a really high up type of individual with a really high position or something like that. There's a ton of makeup artists out there. Why would they need to write a letter of recommendation for him so there wouldn't be bad blood? It's not that doesn't make sense as far as the levels of what they would have to do for someone. Maybe if he was going to get, I don't know how they do referrals or something for makeup artists on movie sets. But if they truly felt that there was no big deal, maybe that's why they did it. So she felt the need to, I guess, go and tell the attorney that she was really upset only after she got in trouble by the producers for her dog taking a crap behind the toilets and having the janitor have to clean it up. And I would guarantee you it was probably not a one-time incident. It was probably a continuous thing where she was just letting her dog take everywhere. That's just my view of how she comes across. Obviously, I don't know her. I don't think anybody probably, I don't know. I've just always felt like that. I felt like she's just like a really tries to be relatable type of person, but just absolutely isn't in any way, or what she views people to be as. And she just like completely misses the mark every single time. And I've just always felt like that. It's not anything to do with even this lawsuit. I've just never really liked her. Like acting wise, not as like a person. I've never really paid attention. I'm sure that her team's probably doing a lot of scrubbing right now. And the fact that celebrities can just go in and scrub the internet of anything that they don't want people to see is just... Sometimes these people just get so elevated by their thought, like of who they think they are, that they're so above the average citizen that they forget really that they are just a normal person. And that the only reason that they're up here is because we want them to be there for our entertainment. They give us something that we like. And once they don't do that, we don't have to keep them there. Instead, they think that they are just like some chosen by God creation, unique above the rest. It's just insane to me, especially when you go through and look at every single like issue that she's had throughout the years. You know, she threatened to not even do the marketing and promotion for the other movie that she did with Anna Kendrick, A Simple Favor. She threatened to pull out of that one too because they were having issues. And then there was rumors being spread about Anna Kendrick being overly competitive with Blake. I'm sure it wasn't the other way around. And how Anna was wanting to be photoshopped more than Blake to look better and all this stuff. And I'm pretty sure that was probably just planted by Blake's PR.
Don't touch me. But there is a couple people that I have muted.
Good.
So I've met Blake a few times through Ryan on that film.
Got it.
And thought she seemed nice, and little did I know.
Yeah. We got the body language experts analyzing this right now. How quickly do you...
Don't touch me. But there is a couple people that I have muted.
Good.
Yeah. Blake Lively. Damn you, Blake. This is why I don't like her at all.
I'm sorry.
No, but her, like, you know, she has a very dark sense of humor. And
They forgot to tell us that the gun was actually loaded that time, because a lot of times the gun's not loaded, and so we
knew it was loaded.
I thought we didn't.
We knew it was loaded. We didn't know that they were gonna set off one of the
that's what it was.
things.
I thought people, like, I've had people who, like, I don't necessarily, like, we're not best buddies at all moments, but like do we do well together on screen? And there's some people that like we're best buddies, and then on screen it's like so you just never really know.
Right.
And so I don't know, but it's fun. But you definitely know once you're shooting, like who,
this
who
is what it's
you
gonna be.
gel with and who you don't. And when
So,
you hear
sorry about it, Blake. So I've met Blake a few times through Ryan on that film.
And apparently all those little back and forth tweets that her and her husband are so known for apparently aren't even them. It's not even Blake and Ryan doing the actual tweeting. It's their PR teams. So their whole persona that is out in the public is just perfectly curated for what they want it to be, and they're nothing like it. And so I can't help but wonder who this makeup artist was that got fired by Blake. What happened? He was probably way too quiet to speak up. Makeup artist, if you're out there, please speak up and tell us what happened in that situation. We want to hear from you, if you even exist, or if this was just a moment for her to be relatable. To be on clear that Blake only wanted the rights to the second movie, and it has absolutely nothing to do with what her lawsuit claims about the smear campaign or the harassment. None of that matters, because if it really did matter, why were articles coming out way before her lawsuit or her complaint ever did about how Ryan Reynolds literally offered to buy the rights of the second movie from Justin Baldoni? His team was planting stories in the media saying that Justin Baldoni literally turned into the character from the movie the guy that was physically abusive, they literally said that he was turning into that person and that he was abusive. Because he didn't listen to Blake's opinion on certain takes. And they said that made him an abusive man and that he dismissed her. That's what this boils down to. This is so crazy. Let's look at this article that was posted. I want to say one of them was in October and then one was in September, around the time when the movie was released. It really shows you Blake and Ryan Reynolds' true motives in this whole thing, and that makes it just all the more like gross. So this article came out in October 2024 about Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, and it was saying that a source reported on Monday that the core cast in Hoover, Colleen Hoover, the author of the book it said they will have nothing to do with Baldoni. All is not what it seems in regard to Baldoni, who also reportedly clashed with the film's leading star Blake amid production of the motion picture, a source told People on Monday. This is most likely coming from Blake's PR team. I believe her name is Leslie, according to the lawsuit that Justin Baldoni filed. It says there is much more to this story. The principal cast and Colleen Hoover will have nothing to do with him, while the director had creative differences with some of his collaborators on the motion picture. Reports of tension while making the film had been overblown, a source close to Baldoni told People Monday. The source added that Lively wants to direct the next movie, sidelining him and securing the rights from Colleen. Separate sources told the outlet that Baldoni would never intentionally make his cast feel unsupported. Another insider claimed to DailyMail.com that Baldoni behaved in a chauvinistic and borderline abusive manner during filming of the motion picture and was dismissive of suggestions made by Lively during scenes depicting abuse. The source added that Baldoni failed to consider Blake's character's perspective, instead of focusing solely on what he believed was the abusive male viewpoint, and that his approach was very chauvinistic, creating a tense atmosphere on set. Justin almost became the character in the sense that some women on set felt he was borderline abusive to them and that he was unprofessional and unapologetic. Blake and Justin fueled rumors they were feuding when they didn't pose for photos together at the film's New York City premiere on August 6th. Blake also avoided doing any press interviews with the Jane the Virgin alum 40, despite participating in some alongside co-star Brandon Sklenar. Justin hinted that he had no interest in being part of the sequel, It Starts With Us, the follow-up novel to It Ends With Us. I think there are better people for that one, he told Entertainment Tonight on August 6th. I think Blake Lively is ready to direct, that is what I think. Sources later exclusively told Life and Style in September that Ryan Reynolds was willing to buy out Justin's stake in the franchise so Blake could continue her role without having to work with him. This is the biggest film Blake has ever made. Ryan wants to make sure she isn't replaced in the sequel, source dished on September 15th. This whole Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively thing is just so crazy to me. And it's funny because they always want to talk about the PR situation and that they did these smear campaigns. But if you're really paying attention, it's crazy how their PR teams can really just feed us whatever they want us to hear to try to manipulate the public. And if Blake Lively's whole lawsuit was actually about what she says it is, about the harassment, about the smear campaign, trying to make her look bad, why is it that these articles were coming out way before this lawsuit ever did? About her wanting to have the rights to the second movie. That's what it boils down to, in the fact that Ryan offered to buy the rights from him. Because he doesn't want the movie being made without Blake, and that's what it all is. It has nothing to do with it, and I guarantee you, Justin Baldoni probably said no because of how she acted. And this is a way for her to bully him into giving her the rights. That's even more disturbing and despicable, honestly, because I feel like the whole movement of, believe all women or whatever, it takes a bigger hit whenever people like that try and make up situations and scenarios that never happened. It does more damage to the cause and it hurts. Overall, that's why people don't believe stories when they come forward. Is because they all know somebody that lied on somebody else or something like that. They'll always go and point out that one that lied. Like, I seriously watched the movie last night and it really wasn't good. It really wasn't. It was missing. I've not read the book, but it was just really missing something. I felt nothing. And I'm someone that like will really get into movies and like I put myself inside the movie and I like get sad and all this. I'm a crybaby about it. I felt nothing. And honestly, if you've not read the book is a little bit more intense than what the movie was, because for majority of the movie, until just the very end snippet, which obviously we know this is Blake's cut, where she hired her own editor, kicked Justin out, didn't let the whole team, work on it. She just took it over. It looked like all of it was her fault. I'm just gonna be honest. It looks like she should have got out of the way in every single scenario where she was getting hurt. It didn't look like a domestic violence type of scenario. It was just move out of the way. You got hurt because you were being goofy. Get out of the way. If he's trying to walk away, get out of his way. And it only really touches on it till the very end. She's having a light bulb moment of, oh, I'm being abused. I didn't realize this is what happened. That doesn't make any sense. Maybe if it had been she was trying to make herself believe it while telling people, but deep down she knew, because you can lie to everybody else, but you can't lie to yourself. I've seen better Lifetime movies, honestly. It's hard to even grasp that she's using this harassment claim as a way to get what she wants and to bully him and to silence him. And man, she was almost close. If he would have just felt so threatened and just got so down that he just stayed silent and just went away like they probably were hoping that he would do. Because I bet you she was thinking that they were just going to settle this and she would just secure the rights to the movie. That's why they're mad. And whenever I read Justin Baldoni's lawsuit and he included the picture from the video that Blake alleged that was so violating and made her so uncomfortable relating to the birth, when they were talking, I guess, going over the scene in the movie where she was going to give birth. Look at this picture. This is not, he probably figured as a woman that's had 4 kids that it's not something that is a sexualized thing. And the fact that she made this is a professionally shot type of birth video. It's not something up close or anything like that. It's not gross. And clearly the woman was okay with it because it's in the lawsuit, posted right there. But the fact that she twisted this when they were probably just going over different ways that women do give birth, not everybody just does it exactly the same, how they quite literally show it in the movies. That's exactly how it was in this movie. Because in my opinion, when they do water births and stuff like that, those videos, I've seen multiple videos of women having their kids like that. And I think it is more emotional. When you're naturally giving birth in a certain way, there's some about it. I don't know. And I know nobody asked me for my opinion, but I'm just saying. I know what you guys think down below, and don't forget to like and share this video. I will see you guys next time. Bye.